wherever you are from around the world. Faith here. We are doing some live shopping from my home to yours. So grab your drink of choice. Mine is just water. I'm very boring and hydration is important to me. But if you have something more fun than water, please grab it. Okay, so shall we get started? So if you're just joining in, I'd love to hear where you're joining in from around the world, because it's always fun to hear like where everybody's from. And then if there's anything you really want to see. So we're going to go through kind of all the products. I'm going to tell you what my favorite stuff is, show you some different colors, show you about the bounces. We'll talk a little bit about the benefits, and then kind of what we have going on for this whole month for Black Friday. Okay, I'm going to put my fancy wine glass down that has water in it. So we will begin. I'm so glad you all are here. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about are the frames. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to roll in. Are you ready? Oh. This is our 49-inch frame. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is decide what frame size you want. So this is the biggest one. You can see, like, I'm 5'4". It's almost as tall as me. It's beautiful, and it's also our black classic frame in one of my favorite color, purple bungees, which I love. The purple's super fun. The other one we have is a stainless steel frame, which I'm going to show you at the end and tell you about the comparison. So the black frame comes in 3 sizes. So this is the biggest, and then there's a 49, which is this one. There's a 44 and a 39. So you're going to pick what frame you love. I will say the 39 is great if you need to travel, if you live in a small apartment. I have it as with a carrying case. I actually don't have it with me because I lent it to one of my friends. My friends keep borrowing it, and then they end up buying one after a few days. But it's great for that. The 44, I need some of my water. The 44 is my favorite size. It's the one that I have at home that I use a lot because it's kind of a nice balance between it's enough space to bounce, but also if I want to take it outside, if I want to move it, it's okay. Pause for water. Grab a drink yourself. Okay. The 49, if you have the space, it's like the luxury. Of course, if you've got the room, bigger is better sometimes in this case. So go for it. My kids really like this one because they bounce a lot and they have plenty of real estate to kind of make mistakes. So I love that. Also, if you're taller, I have been told, I'm not tall, but I've been told it's really nice to have extra room for longer legs. Okay, so that's my spiel on the frame. So you've got 3 choices. The next spiel is the legs. So we have 2 leg options. They're all 12 inches off the ground. That's a question we get a lot. So you don't feel like you're too low to the ground, especially when you bounce. We've got screw-on legs, which are these. Super sturdy. I always joke and tell people, I love the screw-on legs because they take a little bit longer to unscrew and it forces me to use it. So I keep mine with the screw-on legs in my living room because I don't want to screw off the legs to store it. So it forces me to use it a lot. The other option is the folding legs, which is super popular. I'm going to show you how these work. They are as sturdy as the screw-in legs. That's a question we get a lot. So this is the stainless steel. You pull from here and then they fold down. So super, super convenient. If you need to store it, if you're a studio owner, just reminded me of that because Dustin hopped on. Hi, Dustin. This is really convenient for that. And then they pop back up. So storage-wise, that's fabulous. They are a tad bit more money. There she goes, knocking over her plants. Than the folding legs. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is the mat. So you've chosen your frame size, you've picked your legs, now we're going to go for the mat. So there's 2 mats. This is the standard one. I'm going to roll in again. This is very entertaining. This is the standard one. The standard one, as you can see, I'll go for my Bellicon logo right on brand. Hi, everybody. Looks like this. It's a really comfortable mat. Easy to clean, wonderful. This comfort mat is a little bit of a fancier mat. I do like the comfort mat. I would say like my go-to is comfort mat with screw-in legs. That's kind of my favorite. Everybody has their go-to, of course, depending on their situation. But this is the comfort mat. It does provide a bit more comfort. As you can see, the outer edges have a little bit of padding and go over the bungees a little bit. So it's a nice mat if you want to lay down, if you do a lot of I do a lot of Pilates or stretching work at the end. This mat is super, super comfortable for that. So I do like the mat upgrade for myself. That's one of the things I have. Okay, now's the fun part. Not that that wasn't fun, but I get excited. There's my grippy socks. Hold on, I lost my grippy socks. This is my Bellicon grippy socks. I get excited with the bungees. So the colors are my favorite part. You can customize these a lot of different ways. So let's talk about the colors And then let's talk about how to choose your strength, because they're both really important, especially the colors, the design wise. So I'll take one off. This is the purple. We have got black, gray, white, beige, purple, red, orange, green, blue, pink. I think I probably forgot a color, white. And you can do color combinations. I've got one that's rainbow for my kids. You can do like your favorite sports team. You can do whatever. I have a neutral beige bungee that I love. I should grab it for you guys at the end upstairs. It's like matches my living room. It's kind of a very high-end look. So my personal favorite is the neutral beige. I'll show you the black, like very clean, simple look. So you get to customize those however you like. And it is really fun to do. And I encourage you to have fun with it. And a lot of people are just like, just go black. Do something that you're really going to look forward to bouncing on that brings you joy. I really think the joy portion is like important for me. Like I feel like it's special. It's kind of ritualistic when I go and step on. Okay. So you've chosen your bungee colors or your color combinations, because you can do alternating or color blocking or rainbow. The strength. So let's talk about that. And I'll show you some bouncing on what it looks like between the two different strengths. So as you can see, this bungee, this has a little clip here. So one has a kind of yellowish gold clip. This one has a blue clip. So the clip delineates the strength of the bungee. I have a medium bungee strength and I have a strong bungee strength. We also have extra strong and ultra. One of the things I love, and that's important to mention, is that our Bellicons hold up to 440 pounds. It's really important to note because there's no other rebounder in the market that holds that much weight. So it's really important for different body types, also for athletes, to know that we have that support for every body, literally. So really, really important. I want you to be able to kind of see yourself on there and know that there's something for everybody. The bungee strength, we're going to think of three things when we choose our bungee strength: your body weight or the weight of the people using it, your goals, and then if you have any injuries. So rule of thumb is to kind of start with the weight, but then you also want to think about what do you want to do on the mat. So I'll show you. This is the strong bungee. So this, I would say, is my favorite one. It's kind of my go-to. So if I step on here, you can kind of see, I'm going to start with what we call health bounce or close chain bouncing, right? So both feet in contact with the mat. My favorite way to bounce is this way. Like most of the time that I get on, I am doing lymphatic work, right? I am working on strengthening my pelvic floor after having kids. I'm working on getting my lymphatic system awake and moving with the vertical bounce. I'm thinking a little bit about bone density because I'm getting up there with my age. So those are the things I'm thinking about with this kind of gentle work. So for me, the strong is like chef's kiss, perfect bungee strength to do this kind of a bounce with. If I wanted to do like or really fast work, I'm going to go up to an extra strong bounce, even a bungee, even for my weight, because I just need that little more support to be able to move faster. So think about what you do more and what you're going to use it more for, and then air towards that bungee. I usually do more of that chill bouncing, so I'm going to do mostly strong. But in another life, I did a lot of like high intensity interval training, and so I needed the extra strong. So think about that. All right, the next thing I want to show you guys after we went through that are some differences between the stainless steel and the black frame. So this is my beautiful stainless steel. I love her. This is my favorite look because I think it kind of looks less fitnessy, if that makes sense, within my house. It's also anti-scratch and antimicrobial. So I bring it a lot inside and outside, and I'm clumsy and I hit the walls a lot. So it hasn't scratched yet. My kids can't scratch it when they throw toys at it. And I love that, the antimicrobial property as well. And it just looks very sleek, kind of like a nice design piece. I feel kind of special on it, if that makes sense. So I love the stainless steel. The black frame is also wonderful. This is kind of the difference in looks, okay? So I want to talk about those two things real quick. I'm going to put this one to the side. I want to show you what it looks like to bounce on the medium bungee. So it's a little bit softer for my body weight. I would say that, again, if your goal is kind of really low intensity bouncing, you're going to see a little difference here. So I think you can see my feet in the camera. The mat is going to be a little more buoyant as I go in and out. So this is the medium bungee as compared to the strong. If I go to move fast, I can't quite go as fast on it. Just has a little bit more of that buoyancy. So I just want to show you guys those two comparisons. So you can kind of see the differences. Strong, extra strong and ultra are going to go much tighter, of course. Okay, what else? Oh, T-bar versus support bar. So I want to think if you have arthritis, you have osteoporosis, you have any joint issues, you've had surgeries, or also you just want a little peace of mind. We have 2 bars and they're wonderful. And I'm going to kind of talk about each of them so that you know when to buy which one. Okay, so the first one is the support bar. Looks like this. It's kind of a U shape. You can get this as a single or as a pair. I would go for this option if you absolutely know that you need the support. So like stepping up to the Bellicon is work. You have maybe some balance issues. You are afraid of falling. You've had surgeries. You have any conditions, or you just want something that like you can really have a good grip on. This is the way to go. The only downside to this, and it's only a downside if you need to store it, is that it does take a little bit longer to attach onto the frame. So it's a little bit more of a permanent or semi-permanent fixture in your house. It takes like 5 minutes to screw it on and off rather than the T-bar, which is immediate. So go this route if you need like absolute support. You can get a single or a double. If you know you really need 2 hands to push up, go for it. Okay, so that's going to be the first one. The second option is the T-bar. This is my stainless steel T-bar. You can get it in black or stainless steel. This one, I always say, is kind of more for peace of mind and versatility. So this one is going to be easier to get on and off. You could have it at studios, take it on and off within seconds. It fits right, I'll show you, into the frame like so. And that is going to be more peace of mind. A little bit less stable than the support bars, but more there for like, oh, I think I'm pretty good, but I just want to have that little extra. It's also great for versatility for some of the faster workouts. So just know that this is there too. Okay, so that's my bar spiel. What else? So let's talk a little bit about the benefits, and I'll show you some of the props as we go through the benefits. I'm going to take my strong bungee Bellicon out. So I'll move this to the side. I am very fortunate to have 2 Bellicons. In my household, it took me many years to get to the point of having 2 Bellicons. There goes my yoga mat, which I'll show you in a second. But it's absolutely worth it because my family can bounce with me. And I will say that if I have somebody to bounce with, I usually bounce more. So that's awesome. All right. So let me show you guys some of these things with the benefits. So the first thing I want to talk about is this ball. This is our kind of squishy ball. I love this for pelvic floor work. And for core work. So what I do is you step up here and I place it between the knees. I don't have it fully deflated because I like it a little soft. And then you give it a little squeeze, and as you bounce, this will help activate the pelvic floor. This is also fantastic if you have knee issues on the Bellicon. It will help align the knees and engage the right muscles. So this is like really one of my go-to ones for helping with pelvic floor strength. Just that gentle bounce will start to activate the involuntary muscles and the deeper muscles around the pelvic floor, and you'll start to get stronger just from that. So this is one of my favorites. You can also do proprioceptive work, tossing it while you bounce, and some really good core work on here. So I love this ball. It's kind of a lavender-y color. So pretty. Okay, I'm gonna get a sip of my water because I'm talking fast. Have a sip of your beverage of choice. Okay, I go back. Another prop I want to show you that's amazing is this mini band. So I have worked with a lot of mini bands just from working at gyms for so many years, like some of the latex ones. This is a fabric one, so I love it. I had one client allergic to latex a while ago, and so I will never go back. Now I use this, and I really, really, really like this fabric one. It's comfortable, it's versatile. I would use this if you have, you want to increase the challenge, which is always fun, or you want to get a little more glute activation or side glute or glute medius activation. You can also use it around the upper body, which is super fun. So you would slide it on and place it between the knees and the hips. And you can take all of your squat variations with it to add more challenge. You can bounce with it. And then of course, you don't need the wall. You can use your T-bar. You can do side glute work. Also place it between the arms or the arms between it for upper body work. So really fun. I actually am only showing you my favorite things. This is one of my favorites as well. The last one that I do use are these weighted balls. So I had to learn the hard way in making sure that I bought sand weights, because when I used to own my I had a Pilates studio and we had rebounding in Chicago for many years. And we had at one point not sand weights, and I dropped the hard weight on my toe while it's bouncing. So don't do that. These are sand weights, and that way if you drop them while bouncing, they won't hurt. But also they're round, so they really help with grip strength, which I feel like we really need as our body is aging. And so I love them for that reason. They come in 2 different sizes. And what you can do is, of course, not bounce with them or bounce with them. But when you add the weight while bouncing, they're a little heavier. So to add the upper body work for strength, building bone density, working on posture, all the good stuff, these are really, really nice just to throw in. So know that you can get, all of your upper body work at the same time when you're bouncing. Okay, love these. So those are my main props. Does anybody have questions? Oh, you ordered one. I love hearing when people order one. It's coming. Yay. So I'll show you just 2 more things. And then I want to talk about, answer any of your questions, and then also talk about like some Black Friday specials we have going on. So hang with me for 1 more second. Yoga mat, if anybody's needs a mat while bouncing. This is a really nice thickness. It's not as thin as a tiny yoga mat. It's not as thick as a Pilates mat. For me, it's like the perfect thickness and also non-slip. I really like it. I have a few videos where I do like yoga on the mat and then bounce and alternate. So it's a nice one. And then we've got a strap, yoga strap. That's cute, brown color. If you want to like go all out. We've also got a few fun massage tools that I spilled water on. Oops. That are really cute. I like the foot one. This is actually my favorite because when you bounce, the muscles of the feet get stronger, but also sometimes tired. And so this really helps with that. And I found has really helped with people's balance and overall walking and gait. So these are kind of my favorite go-to massages. Okay. Questions. Did I cover everything? So think about benefit-wise, like you've got your equipment. Think about how you want to use it. Do you want to work on your pelvic floor strength? Do you want to work on your just lymphatic drainage and detoxification? Are you looking for gut health? We did a great talk with an occupational therapist or physical therapist about using it for gut health. Are you dealing with an autoimmune disorder and you're looking to boost the immune system? Are you looking at building bone density? Are you looking more for like super athletic, all cardio, high intensity interval training? So think about what you're wanting to use it for. And then choose your bungee based on that, and then also your body weight. We also, want to mention too, it's super quiet and super low impact. So I think if you're dealing with any joint issues or spine issues, back issues, this is really, really a nice option. Also think about if you need the bars and which accessories, and then kind of go from there. Okay, last thing I want to mention, and then feel free to throw out any questions, is Black Friday. That's the big news everybody wants. So I'm gonna grab my water again. Black Friday we've got going on all month now, the whole month of November. It's starting at 20% off. Don't misquote me, 20% off. And then we've got free socks thrown in there. Where did my socks go? They're cute. They're gripper socks. And then of course, free shipping on all the unassembled Bellicons worldwide, free shipping. We also have shop and pay later. So you can buy it and pay later. And then we've also got, this is new, I was excited about this. If you have an HSA health insurance account or an FSA health insurance account, you may be eligible to use your health insurance to purchase your Bellicon this year. And so we have a third-party integration through TrueMed where you can check out and see if you're eligible. So that's a really, really great option too if you're looking to use those funds before the end of the year. So just thinking about that as you move forward. Okay, questions. What do you all want to hear more of? Did anybody miss anything? I can show classic frame again. I can show stainless steel, or we can just have a drink of water in a wine glass together. Say good night. I'm gonna have a sip. Okay, I'll show you my favorite moves and then we'll go. So if you are, we'll kind of close it out together. If you are watching this at night with me live, if you're first thing in the morning, or if you're right before lunch, and you have a Bellicon, we'll finish off with some moves together. So my favorite go-to to kind of end our night are you step aboard, we find parallel legs, we have our toes forward, our core pulled in, our shoulders back, our neck long, and we take a light bounce. And I love to just let the fingertips drop like I'm letting water cascade off of them. It gets my lymphatic system moving and also everything around the chest zone and through the lymph nodes. I'm going to lengthen my neck, gaze upward, I'm gonna take an inhale through my nose. I'm gonna exhale, think of drawing my pelvic floor up. Beautiful. And I'm gonna circle the arms all the way back. You can do this with me if you've got a Bellicon. Keeping the core in. Nice, you can hear my shoulder popping, crack. Good, and then I'm gonna take a little bounce balance, which is lifting one heel, dropping one heel. And as I do this, I'm gonna just engage the glutes to make sure my knees are tracking forward. So I really have that alignment present with me. Core staying engaged. Yeah, nice and simple. Really thinking about your alignment and also just an overall relaxing jaw. Now, when our jaw tenses, our pelvic floor muscles tend to not wake up as much as we'd like. So trying to relax the jaw. Beautiful. Then we'll take the arms forward and we'll just row them back a few times, opening up the chest. Beautiful. Just to set us up for a successful night or morning. Night if you're joining live, morning if you're watching, it's another time. Good, and we'll shake it out again. And we'll make our bounce a little smaller and we'll take a nice deep breath in, inhaling together and exhale. Beautiful. If you can do that for 1 to 5 minutes a day, you are golden. Okay. All right, you guys, thank you for joining me. If nobody has any questions, I'm going to get ready for bed. I am so thrilled that my children didn't interrupt this stream. I had to bribe them to stay upstairs during this, so that is my biggest win for the night. I hope you enjoyed this. If you've got any other questions, feel free to write in the comments and I can hop on and answer them. And yeah, shop Black Friday. I hope this was fun. If you wanted to see something that you didn't see, we're going to do another one on actual Black Friday, actually 2 of them. So join us then. If there's anything specific that you want me to show you, I will. All right, cheers. Everybody have a great night. Bye.